Okay, hi everyone. I'm actually downstairs again. This is actually before I get back to my home, my apartment, just for remote work. So I just wanted to actually make this video because actually I told a friend just now while I was in the gym, okay, about this the recent video that I was I made, and it was just about the download Narcissist. So I wanted to sort of like float it by a lot of different people, who have actually have experiences, or who have encountered any of such people. And that the thing is that I asked one friend, I asked him, the friend being a heterosexual guy, I asked him, how do you know if someone, let's say, whether it's a girl or guy, just say just predominantly guys, but how do you know if the person is really how should I say, on the down low? Yes. And he said this. He said, oh, it's easy to tell, the person is flamboyant, he's very ostentatious, blah blah blah. I was like, wait, but that is a very overt, grandiose narcissist who's very open about his or her, maybe her sexuality, but I mean, very rarely does it apply to the covert kind who is very hidden. And then at that point in time, that friend was saying, I don't think I can actually tell if it's a covert kind of thing where the person could be married, or attached, and then he or she is just really covert about their behavior with the same sex. I was like, wait, yeah, that's true. And so the question is, I just but I actually said something to him. I said, but that I think from my point of view, that's just my point of view, I believe that it's actually possible to really tell. I actually told him a few examples based on what I have actually observed with people, and also hearing stories. And yesterday I was talking about the example of that that friend of mine in Toronto who had been, well, let's just say, seduced by an allegedly straight guy who his friend, who was actually just using him, exploiting him for the sake of a free apartment room to stay in, and for months. And then and all the money and all the, what else, just free attention, and while that so-called friend was doing gay for pay as an allegedly straight guy. So I was telling this friend in the gym, okay, one thing, I saw it's a funny thing, that I know of guys who do OnlyFans, and these guys have no shame. They are open to admit that their audience is predominantly composed of guys, and I mean especially gay guys, and on top of that, they have a girlfriend on the sideline, yes, and their girlfriend also happens to be in OnlyFans too, and these girls cater to both male and females, males and females. And he was like, oh, the look on the person's face when he or she just realizes something so surprising and it's so scandalous, and I was like, oh, okay, when your eyes start widening and everything. But but it's true, there's such things happening. And so when you really know when someone is actually on the down low, especially as a narcissist. Okay, I'm gonna actually give very general points. So this can apply to both sexes, male and female. Okay, and it can also apply to various orientations, including heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, or whatever, anything else in between, considering that the world now is so full of so many orientations. But okay, the first thing that I was talking about yesterday was I said this yesterday, if you look at the phones, the phones of the person, and you might actually discover that this particular man or woman has had any kind of sexting or any particular videos or photos or messages of a rather sexual nature that's exchanged with the same sex, even while he or she is actually still attached to you, yeah, or to anyone else. But it's really hard, yeah. So the thing is, this is actually a rather dangerous one, which as I said yesterday, is you have to make sure that when you have done it, you can erase all evidence of you having checked that phone. So there's a better way actually. I told that friend today, so I told him, what's the best way if you want to go by that route of the phone or the the social media? Look at the person's social media. I know that a lot of people nowadays, like, I mean I'm probably one of the rare ones. I don't really use my Facebook as much anymore, and the thing is that recently I just decided I didn't delete my Instagram, but I just felt like, what, damn, I am doing all this doom scrolling. It's really pointless scrolling up and down, so I decided not to use it. So I haven't been posting anything. I just don't really care. I don't message anyone there on either Facebook or Instagram. But the one thing is this: the benefit of all this, all this kind of social media is that when you add someone, or you have someone as a friend or follower, you generally can figure out some details about the person based on the hashtags, their interests, their lifestyle, who they're with, the family, the backgrounds. Unless a person doesn't like put his or her photo, that's a different issue. But generally, yes, I think on Facebook, the kinds of friends that the person follows, or has as his or her friends on Facebook, they're very telling signs. Like I just told that a friend, like, let's just say that this guy, he's attached to a girl or his so-called gay partner, but but or whatever, or married. But on the flip side, on his social media, he has so many accounts of people, alleged friends, especially of the opposite sex or the same sex, and some of the interactions don't seem that it goes beyond being cordial. Yes, but I mean, the exchanges aside, unless the person has set everything to private, you can kind of figure out based on the profiles of the people that he or she follows. And so that's one very, very telling sign. So, and that one thing about this other thing that I was talking about yesterday, which I haven't really talked more about, was the idea of the homie. I have heard a lot of this actually about the homie of the guy or the girl, the homie, the best friend. I think that for guys, a lot of us don't really realize, there's this perception that guys don't get cheated on. I don't know where this came about, this idea, but it's a rather sexist stereotype. Okay, it's the idea that girls get cheated on, guys are the cheaters. But the thing is this: guys can get cheated on by girls, and sometimes even gay or bisexual guys also get cheated by other guys, and maybe girls too. And there's a lot of this kind of exploitation going on that I think society has not really learned to accept. And the thing with this whole download behavior, of a DL narcissist is, the homie thing is a very interesting kind of phenomenon. I know that, you hear a lot about that whole thing. I always tell my friends, look at the other person's so-called best friend, or their so-called alleged buddies. Okay, I wouldn't just call them buddies. Most of them are probably just also called buddies. Okay, because they don't just let's just say that when they go together with their home crew, homies, their buddies, they are not just chilling, watching Netflix. They're not just having Netflix. Yeah, they are doing something more. So or even in the Korean sense, having ramyeon, okay, which is instant noodles. Actually, a lot of them do things like, for lack of a better word, because I don't want to be explicit, you know, like they are touching each other, they are playing with each other's, you know, butts, and their ding dongs and more, and maybe even their shit pussies, and yeah, lots and lots of this kind of different things going on. And I never knew of such things happening, but you know, the strange thing is it happens for both sexes from what I heard. And you know, I used to have one friend. He was telling me about her, you know, her sister's so-called alleged best friend, okay, from Taiwan when her sister was working there, elder sister. So I was like, is that for real? Like, is it really a best friend? I was like, well. She was telling me, I don't think she is, because they are too close to be just plain good old sisters, you know, like from the, like, you know, sister from another mother kind of thing. But so she was like, you know, they look really a lot more like lovers, more than me and my sister, my elder sister. That's what he said. She said, yeah. And I was like, oh, so you mean your sister is having a kind of like a lesbian relationship or something like that, which nobody is really admitting, but it's kind of like an open secret, or at least between family and her, and that's all. And she said, yeah, I think so. But you know, it's a kind of thing between, let's just say, between some men and their so-called, or girls and their homies. Yeah, you don't know what they're doing, so you know, always watch out, and you will never regret it if you were to just, you know, watch out for what's going on between them. You know, like how much time are they spending with this so-called friends, okay, or best friends. It might turn out to be way more than with you or with any of their so-called partners or whatever, depending. Maybe they're just your family members, but even then, you know, you have to be a bit more observant. So, and of course, I think that in this day and age, I mean, you don't snoop on someone or whatever. But you know, the third thing is this. I used to tell a friend about this concerning myself. I think it's because of my MBTI. I'm not sure whether it's just like my MBTI, Myers-Briggs personality type. But the thing is that because I'm like, you know, I am INFP, INFJ. Yeah, I mean the last category is just like a difference of 1 point. And actually, a lot of people thought I was actually an INFJ. Although I think I might be also an INFP based on the higher score, or at least on the last category, by just 1 mark. But okay. The thing is this: my personality type tends to be very observant, so I have very good peripheral vision. So you know that when I'm talking to someone, I'm actually looking at the person, but I'm to listen to the person, but I'm also observing the surroundings. My eyes do dart around a bit, just to, you know, I mean, at least the side of my eyes. I mean, it's not that I'm not listening to the person, but I'm observing the surroundings. So, you know, the thing is, when I'm actually carrying out this peripheral vision, I tend to observe things. So I told this friend, you know, the one thing is this: when you're talking to someone and you want to be sure that he or she is, I mean, you want to be sure whether the person is actually a down low DL narcissist. I mean, of course, narcissism is being indicated by other things other than, you know, sexual behavior or your sexual attractions. But it just happens that for this particular kind of a narcissist, the DL narcissist, because they are very somatic, they're all about their, or maybe they could be cerebral. They're all about, you know, going down on the down low, yes, and trying to get as many, you know, sexual partners or sexual flings on the, whether on the same side or the same gender or different gender, but mostly the same gender anyway. So and you have to look at the way that they look around them, okay, at the same sex. Okay, this takes a lot of like observation. You know, that's the kind of thing. I told a friend, you know, sometimes when I'm outside with some people, you know, they claim, let's say this guy or this girl claims to be, that's why I say this is the thing that people don't understand about guys, that the guys to get cheated on. You know, when you go and let's just say that you go on a date with a girl, and then you know, like the girl, she's looking at other girls, okay, and she's kind of like her eyes are darting about while she's talking to you. She's like making eyes at them. I think this applies more to actually mostly guys instead. Like, I mean, for the girls who are listening to the channel, you know, if you have a boyfriend or a husband, and you know that when you're talking to him or him here, and then he's like, his eyes are looking at the same sex, other guys, and he's like, oh, you know, making those so-called puppy eyes, like so, oh, like the flirting, all the attention. I mean, come on. You can't just be admiring them, okay? I mean, same with the girls. I mean, they can't just be admiring the same sex, you know, because you know, making puppy eyes. You know what? Yeah, I don't know whether you can just call that admiration, but yeah, it's really, really dodgy and suspicious. I would, you know, really just pay attention to all this. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go back up to my apartment, and yeah, if you have any kind of like other things to add about this, you know, signs of BL behavior, whether it's you know, in a girl or guy, in terms of their narcissism, you know, just let me know in the comment section. And yeah, these are the 3 things that I kind of noticed, but you know, there are probably more that I don't really know of. Okay, so have a good one, everyone. Okay, I'm back to work.